At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. You're watching Coffee with Krueger every weekday morning at 7 a.m. And we're starting off with the radar here to show you that, the rain and snow is up to our north. We did see a little bit last night as expected, but now things have at least dried out over Northern California. Let's take a look at what the rainfall totals are in the last 24 hours, and not bad. About a half an inch out in Chico, 3/10 out at the Redding Airport. You can see out in Crescent City about 38/100ths of an inch of rainfall, and in Mount Shasta City we saw about 18/100ths of an inch of rainfall. Certainly not the most impressive amount of rain that we've seen here, but we'll certainly take it. Good morning, everyone. Hoping to have a good start to your Tuesday. I know I'm enjoying my cup of coffee. Had to take a little pause, a little break here to enjoy that sip of coffee. Hope you're enjoying your coffee, whatever it is you like to enjoy in the morning. It is Tuesday, and we're getting through the week. And the wet weather pattern we've been dealing with since last week, and even yesterday, that's done with for most of us. Yeah, things getting a little bit more interesting as we go into tomorrow morning for some parts of Northern California for tomorrow morning. But until then, we've got dry conditions. And there's actually a little bit of fog out there that we're seeing in some areas as well. We'll get into that here in a second. First, I want to say good morning to everybody. Of course, you saw there before we started here this broadcast during the introduction, we had Lisa Stevens and Chappie kind of mentioning and saying good morning to everybody. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, we got Krista saying good morning to everybody. We've also got our buddy Rowdy saying beautiful clear morning and not too cold in Fortuna. Love to hear from all of our North Coast viewers. Always good to see you. Of course, always good to see everybody. And of course, we got Bill Carlton saying good morning, everyone. Have a great day. Well, I hope you have a great day today as well. So what do you say we get to our forecast? At least we'll go to Krueger's Quickcast here for now. This is just kind of a quick look at the forecast for the day. So you can just get your forecast and head on out. And then, of course, you can stick around a little bit longer for a deeper dive into what's happening with our overall weather. So let's get you through your Tuesday, December 17th. Can you believe it? The year is almost over. Here are the temperatures out there right now. Upper 40s for most of us in the valley. We've got 30s, low to mid 30s in the higher elevations. And for the coast, look at that, quite mild actually. 56 degrees in Crescent City and 50 in Eureka. Now you can see some of the visibility that we are seeing. It is dropping a bit here, especially down into southeast central Glen and southwestern central Butte County, where you can see some of the lower visibility there. We also have some low visibility, it looks like on I-5 near Mount Shasta. So we're seeing some of that lower visibility in some of those areas. Taking a look at Lake Orville, North Forebay. Looks a little foggy out there this morning, so you can kind of see we are certainly see some of that, especially down to the south. This is Main Street, Chico, and if you kind of look off in the distance, it looks like there's a little bit of fog. It's not a very low-lying fog, But you can kind of see there off in the distance some of that fog here looking at Highway 99 at Neal Road. So nothing too terribly dense, at least in our immediate area. Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive, can't really see much there, but that again kind of shows what's going on there. There is a dense fog advisory until 11 o'clock this morning for Glenn and Butte counties. Of course, that's where we're seeing most of the fog, and of course, as you head southward into the Sacramento region. So really, the forecast visibility doing a pretty good job where we're seeing most of the fog. You can see down just to the south and east of Willows. Looks like near Chico, to the west of Chico, you're seeing some of that fog. And up north into northern Shasta County, southeastern Siskiyou County, even parts of Modoc County, seeing some of that fog. And we can't forget about many of the mountain and inland valleys that are seeing some of that fog out there this morning. So let's take you through the morning hours. 8 o'clock this morning, we're still seeing a lot of the fog that we're seeing right now in many areas. But you can see before the noon hour, most of that fog is gone, although I do expect a lot of those low clouds to stick around through a good portion of the morning around Mount Shasta. And of course, getting you out the door here this morning, there's some of that fog we will see for parts of the Sacramento Valley. So on your morning commute, don't be surprised if you're in the valley and you just run into some quick fog. And it probably won't last for very long. Of course, those inland and mountain valleys could see some of that, otherwise mostly cloudy skies to start off the day. Now you can see the storm system off to our west. That one is trying to impact all of us, but it won't. We'll get into that here in just a second. In fact, we'll take a look at Futurecast and show what I'm talking about. So it's actually picking up on some of that fog we may see this morning, but obviously not the best representation. Going through the afternoon, a couple of passing high and mid-level clouds. We'll call it partly cloudy for today. But even the coast may see some clearing this afternoon as well. Take a look at tonight, tomorrow morning, see what's happening. Look at that. Yeah, we're seeing some rain coming on in. Now, I think where most of the rain will be on Wednesday morning will be Del Norte, northern central and northern Humboldt, northern Trinity County, and parts of Siskiyou County. It's showing a little bit of activity even into Modoc County, but I'm going to keep you dry for your Wednesday. Keep in mind, this is just going to be a morning event. It's not going to last for very long. I'd expect that by 10 or 11 o'clock in the morning tomorrow morning, that rain will be gone and it'll be dry the rest of the day for those areas. By the way, the winds, they're not that much of an issue for most of us, although the coast, you're saying, well, what are you talking about? It's windy here. So there you can see 15 to even over 20 miles an hour for the coast today. That'll continue tonight and even into tomorrow morning, but I do expect that by tomorrow afternoon, the winds across the board, including the coast, will be much calmer. All right, temperatures for today in the upper 50s for the valley, 40s for most of the higher elevations. So it is warming up a little bit, even for the mountains. And then, of course, we got those temperatures upper 50s to low 60s for the coast. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook. There's that morning fog for the valley. Otherwise, it's dry and warmer, too. Look at that. By Wednesday, Thursday, we're in the low to mid 60s for your daytime highs in the valley. But then it cools back down to the 50s for the weekend. And yes, we're seeing more wet weather in the forecast. For the coast, yeah, we're looking at mainly dry conditions. See some of those morning showers on Wednesday. That's also the case inland, and especially for northern Trinity County. Otherwise dry for Wednesday afternoon through Friday, and more wet weather for the weekend. For Siskiyou, Modoc, and the Eastern Mountains. So Siskiyou County, I've got the morning showers for you on Wednesday. Modoc County, if you see a stray sprinkle, don't be surprised, but overall, it's dry for you on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, dry for everybody, and then more wet weather. By the way, notice the snow levels. They're fairly high, around 6,000 feet or higher. That's because this is going to be a warmer series of storms coming on through, and that's going to mean some higher snow levels that will be associated with all that as well. All right. Again, let's take a look at some of those cameras out there this morning. This is looking out at Lake Oroville. And you can see some of the fog. I mean, look at the lower right corner of your screen there. You see some of that fog kind of coming through those low-lying areas. And that's essentially what we're going to see here this morning. Of course, look at that. This is Lake Oroville, North Forebay. Pretty low visibility there over the lake, although that would be expected. I mean, the atmosphere is already pretty saturated. And when you have a saturated atmosphere, calm winds, and dry and clear skies, especially around lakes, you can get a lot of that fog developing here. So that's really no big surprise there. But you look at Main Street Chico and Highway 32, doesn't look all that bad. Traffic doesn't look all that bad either. And we take you out to Highway 99 at Neal Road. Also, the visibility not bad, but you look off in the distance and the visibility does drop a bit. So we do have that lower visibility as a result. You take a look at Sundial Bridge Drive on Highway 44 or Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive. And we're not seeing much in the way of fog there either. Hey, by the way, I want to remind you, if you are in your car out and about, you didn't get a chance to watch my morning update, or you didn't get a chance to watch Coffee with Krueger, no need to worry. Because around 7:30, you can listen to me on K Shasta with Don and Heather in the mornings. On 106X at 7:50 in the morning, Logan Kane in the morning, or Logan Kane in the AM, and Stephen Clark on News Talk KQMS at a little after 8 o'clock in the morning. You can listen to my weather forecast. So just kind of wanted to give you a quick reminder of that. Let's check in with everybody again here this morning. A few people have kind of chimed in this morning. We have got a few people checking in. We got Tom Frazier saying, good morning, Mike. Good morning to you, Tom. And we've got a weather report from Delinda saying, good morning, 34 degrees at 3,500 feet. Definitely a chilly start to the day here. Then, of course, we got, when will the fog lift south near Sacramento Airport? So it's expected to burn off before the noon hour. The fog isn't too bad, even as you head south right now, but it may get a little bit worse in the next couple of hours. So yeah, but the dense fog advisory is going to expire at 11 o'clock this morning. So I'd be willing to guess that fog will burn off before midday. So that should answer your question there. We got Curtis Brown saying good morning to Mike and everyone, and we have got Barry Pina. Well, good morning to you. Hope you're having a good start to your day this morning. Well, what do you say we get to the deeper dive forecast now that we're kind of getting into it here? Of course, as you know, Coffee with Krueger would not be possible without our sponsor. Of course, that would be Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, it's 7:10 in the morning, and we're looking at temperatures right now, and you can see generally in the upper 40s for the valley right now, 48 degrees for Redding, 48 degrees in Chico. We've got those low to mid 30s right now in the eastern mountains, so a chilly start to the day. You know, with those clearing skies, it's really helping to allow those temperatures to drop a bit. 35 degrees for Mount Shasta City. We've got about 38 degrees for Weaverville, and those temperatures quite mild on the coast. Look at that, 50 degrees for Eureka, even warmer in Crescent City at about 56 degrees. So we do have a drier trend for most of Northern California through Friday, and I say that because, yeah, we've got morning showers for the North Coast, Siskiyou and Trinity County for tomorrow morning. But it's only for the early morning hours. Before noon, it's all gone. You're dry for the rest of the day. Now, we're going to be dry after that for everybody through Friday. Then we have another wet weather pattern moving in by this weekend, and that may even go through off and on through all of next week. Hey, and by the way, this Saturday, it's the winter solstice. It's the first official day of winter. Now, you know, the solstice is when, you know, from a textbook standpoint, when you define it, it's equal amount of daylight and nighttime hours. That's essentially what it is. And that's mainly at the equator. It's also typically the shortest amount of daylight that we have, which is the winter solstice. After the winter solstice, from that point moving forward, the daylight hours start getting longer and longer. So that's good. I don't think I hear anybody complaining about, I want it to be darker longer. We're not up in Alaska, right? All right, so there you can see we've got this next storm system right here. This is what's going to bring some of that morning rain to parts of Northern California tomorrow, especially in the morning hours. So let's take a look at Futurecast, walk you through the timing of it all. It's picking up on some of that morning fog. It should burn off, but I do expect to see partly cloudy skies here for today. Maybe even some clearing along the coast here this afternoon. But then that storm system, week one, will approach. It's going to bring us some rain. Now, it is picking up on a little bit for Modoc County. If you see a stray sprinkle, don't be surprised. But I think most of it will be, number one, northern Humboldt, Del Norte County, western Siskiyou County. I think this is where it's really going to be confined. You head to the south, the chances are a bit slimmer in Del Norte County, and of course, that's also the case for Trinity County. So mostly north of Highway 299 in Trinity County, to the south of that, mainly dry. So places like Weaverville, okay, maybe. Hayfork, probably not. But Mount Shasta, everywhere in Siskiyou County, maybe it's just a stray sprinkle. And again, maybe a stray sprinkle for parts of Modoc County. But I'm going to keep you dry for now. But look at this. It just breaks apart. That's because high pressure. This storm system is breaking through a ridge of high pressure and is able to sustain itself just long enough to bring some showers here to the north and west. But by 10 a.m. before noon, it's pretty much gone. You can see a little bit of rain still kind of trying to hang on to the north and west of us, but it's fairly dry. And you can also see that fog returning along the coast and even kind of making its way down the Highway 101 corridor there as well. All right, let's take you into your Wednesday and Thursday. There's, of course, Thursday afternoon. Actually, the fog kind of breaking and moving out. We're looking at more sunshine for your Thursday, but there it is, the leading edge of the next storm system. Now, this storm system is going to stall out because it's butting up against that ridge of high pressure, and it's not able to really move through until Saturday. And then, of course, more wet weather off and on through next week. Let's take a look at that longer range, and I'll show you the pattern that we're seeing here through the next few days. So we looked at futurecast, right? The closer look at the showers to the north and west. Here's the pattern that's set up. You see, right here, a ridge of high pressure. But notice in that ridge, there's this little kink right here. This is what we call a shortwave trough. This is what's breaking through that ridge just strong enough to bring us some of those showers. But then it just breaks apart pretty quickly. High pressure really becomes the dominant feature here for your Thursday, Friday. There is the ridge, right? So these storm systems, or at least the storm systems up until this point, are butting up against that ridge. It's like a brick wall, and it just butts up against that, and it kind of moves up and over that ridge. But as we go into Saturday, Sunday, and into next week, this ridge here, number one, it weakens and shifts to the east. That's going to open the storm door and allow these storm systems to move on in and everything coming in behind it as well. There's Saturday, there's Sunday, wet weather, right? We take you into your Monday and Tuesday. That's going to be moving on in. In fact, we're getting a little digging trough of low pressure right here. So initially, I was talking about those snow levels during Krueger's QuickCast are going to be fairly high. But then we have this trough digging. This is going to allow some cooler air to sink down. And this will probably drop them down a little bit more on Tuesday. This is, by the way, we're looking at Christmas Eve, by the way. There could be some snow in the Sierra as we go into your Tuesday, down to, well, the Sierra probably closer to 5,000 feet, but for places like Siskiyou County, Trinity County, eastern mountains east of the valley, maybe down to about 4,000 feet. So it could create some travel delays. But, you know, we're going a ways out here, folks. And just for fun, I'm going to take you into Christmas Day. Based on this forecast model, December 25th, it does look dry with some clouds. But notice what we've got going on right here. We call this a zonal flow type pattern. We're not seeing any troughs of low pressure, you know, the dip, like a little trough right here. We're not seeing any ridges of high pressure. We're just seeing a steady flow coming in from west to east. This basically just transports any rain, any storms right over us. And that's why we do anticipate the day after Christmas, some more rain, maybe some snow in the higher elevations, and going into that next weekend as well. So we're going back into a wetter pattern, but it won't be here by the weekend until this weekend into next week. So we look at the precipitation outlook as we get towards the end of the month, and you see the darker shades of green. Again, just to kind of explain what that is, the darker the shade of green, the better the chances of seeing above normal rainfall. And we're definitely seeing over the last few days, these shades of green have been getting darker and darker. And that's essentially what we're looking at here. But remember, I was talking about those high snow levels. We're looking at warmer than normal conditions. Now, I want you to think about what we're looking at here. Above normal rainfall, above normal temperatures. What is this indicative of? You may have been hearing about this over the last several months, about the emergence of the potential of a La Nina. What does that mean? You know, we talk about El Nino, we talk about La Nina, you're like, well, what does that mean? Well, we look at the Pacific Ocean, the equator, okay? During a El Nino, we have these stronger trade winds, which are giving us above normal temperatures, sea surface temperatures. That's when we start to see an El Nino. The opposite of that is when we have those stronger trade winds, cooler water temps, that is, and lower moisture content. Okay, so that's all what we're looking at right here. Now, as of right now, the sea surface temperatures are showing signs of a La Nina, but we're not technically in a La Nina. However, the Climate Prediction Center is indicating that sometime soon here, we may be in a weak La Nina. And the pattern we've seen over the last 30 to 45 days would indicate that we are indeed in a La Nina pattern. What do we typically see during a La Nina during the winter? Well, You expect cooler than normal temperatures, especially for the Pacific Northwest. For us, we're not cooler or warmer, but if you notice, over the last couple of months, our temperatures, yes, we've seen some dip in the temperatures. They've gone up. But for the most part, when you look at it, the temperature has been kind of going up and down and just right around or just above or below normal, but not by much. That's what we've seen. We haven't seen any major cooling spells or even anything really majorly above normal either. It's been right around normal, give or take, for the last couple of months. That's what we're seeing right here. That's a typical La Nina pattern. What about rain? Well, typically, during a La Nina, you see wetter than normal conditions for the Pacific Northwest, and that extends down to Northern California. What have we seen for the last couple of months? Wetter than normal conditions. So the pattern that we're seeing certainly indicates and is what we would typically see during La Nina. So the cooler waters that we're seeing over the equatorial Pacific certainly indicates, and we're starting to see some of the impacts of that we would typically see during La Nina. In fact, let's take a look at the amount of percentage of normal rainfall in the past year. And, minus a few spots, especially to the north and east, up to the north and northwest, it's below normal, but we're, for the most part, above normal for a big part of Northern California. Look at the last 30 days, though. Right? This is the emergence of that La Nina pattern. And minus Crescent City, everyone else is at least above 100%. And in fact, some cases above 300% of normal for the last 30 days. And we've got more rain and this pattern we've been experiencing on the way. I was just showing that here a second ago, right? All that rain coming on in. All right, so let's switch gears. Let's talk about the winds real quickly because, the thing is, the winds aren't that big of a deal. But I wanted to just illustrate that we're still looking at some gusty winds at times along the coast here through the day today. It'll probably continue tonight into tomorrow morning, but by tomorrow afternoon, those winds die down even for the coast. A little breezy, a little bit of a north wind coming in on Wednesday afternoon for the valley, so maybe a little breezy there. But then, of course, as we go into your Thursday, all across the board, generally 5 to 10 miles per hour. So that's always nice to see. We're going to get a break from the wet weather. We're going to see more sunshine. Winds are going to be calm. Thursday is one of those, I'm not feeling so great because it's going to be some nice weather coming in on Thursday. All right, so taking a look at your wave heights. All right, they're going to kind of retreat a little bit here as we go into your Wednesday, but then Wednesday afternoon, they kind of go back up again. But nothing major. We still have that small craft advisory through Wednesday afternoon. Winds today will be from the south at 15 to 20 knots, with your waves from the south at 7 feet at 7 seconds, and from the west at 14 feet at about 15 seconds. All right, so for today, there's a look at Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Morning showers Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, we're dry. Look at the temperatures warming up too, but then they go back down. We're back in the 40s by Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and of course the wet weather entering the picture as well. Same situation heading to the south. 55 degrees for High and Palm, 50 for Wildwood, and looks like Ruth, about 55 degrees for your daytime high. Let's take a look at your North Coast neighborhood forecast. That morning fog, morning showers on Wednesday, dry for Wednesday afternoon through Friday, and then more wet weather for Sunday, Monday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Probably even I was mentioning Christmas Day. That's next Tuesday. Should be dry. Is it next Tuesday? I have to look at the calendar. I don't want to be that guy that says, "Oh, I was giving you the wrong day." Oh, it's next Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday's Christmas Eve. Wednesday is Christmas. All right, here we go. I just had to do that. All right, there you go. See Trinidad about 63, 59 degrees for Hoopa, 59 for Willow Creek, and 63 degrees in Arcata. Take you up north. Of course, as I mentioned, the chance for morning showers tomorrow. Dry, though, for Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, and Friday. More wet weather for the weekend. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, yeah, still that chance for showers up to especially towards western and northern Siskiyou County tomorrow morning. But today, it's dry. 45 degrees for Greenview, 44 degrees for Callahan, and 46 degrees in Fort Jones. Take you to central eastern Siskiyou County, and there you can see dry through Friday. More wet weather and high snow levels for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All right, let's take you out to Modoc County, and there you can see 44 degrees out in Alturas, 42 degrees for Cedarville. I'm keeping it dry through Friday. If you see a stray sprinkle early Wednesday morning, don't be surprised, but don't count on it. 42 degrees for Newell, 44 degrees for Aden, and 44 degrees in Likely. Your Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast, dry. today all the way through Friday. And then, of course, that wet weather this weekend. Temperatures mainly in the 40s, although Paynes Creek, one of the warmer spots at 53. There you can see Lake Elminor, Lassen Park. Temperature is still on the cool side, especially for Chester and Lassen Park, but it warms back up in the low 50s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Back in the 40s, though, for Chester over the weekend with, of course, the chance for rain and high snow levels. If you take it to the south, Paradise, you'll see a high of around 61 degrees by Thursday, so warming up a little bit here. And then the showers coming in over the weekend. For Susanville, mid-40s, really. You just look at the next 7 days between 43 and 45. No big changes in those daytime highs, even when we see the rain kick in. Here's your Valley Neighborhood Forecast brought to you by Walgamith Painting. Your temperatures will be in the upper 50s, 57 degrees out towards Red Bluff. If some of us see 60 degrees, wouldn't be surprised. But we'll mainly keep in the upper 50s for your daytime highs today. A little bit cooler heading up north with 52 degrees for Lakehead, 53 in Whiskeytown, 56 out in the city of Shasta Lake, and it looks like Cottonwood, about 58 degrees. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Temperatures in the mid-60s, looking pretty nice for Wednesday, Thursday. And then by Friday, temperatures dropping but still dry. And then it looks like for your Saturday, which is, by the way, the winter solstice, the first day of winter. It is the shortest day the shortest amount of daylight hours, and then we start to see those daylight hours increase when we can see the sun through the clouds, right? Because it's going to be cloudy and rainy on Saturday. Sunday, a chance for more showers, and then on Monday, more rain in the forecast. And if we were to extend this through next week, off and on chances for rain through next week as well. So it's there. I mean, it's back, folks. It's going to be back. So get out there. If you have things that are impacted by the weather that you need to do outside, this is the week to do it, and you'll be fine. And then by next week, more wet weather entering the picture. Gotta love it. Hey, listen, it's one of those things where we got to fill up those lakes. We got to fill up and keep them filled, get that nice snowpack in the mountains. It's all good stuff. So yeah, I say it's a welcome sight to see this rain. And it's the best way to get this rain is you get the rain, you get a break, you get more rain, you get a break, you get more rain. And that's essentially what we're looking at here. So looking pretty darn good. Let's see here. Oh, Rowdy is saying, yeah, maybe I'm talking a little, sometimes maybe I do talk a little fast, huh? Yeah, I guess if I'm in a good mood, I'll do that. Let's see here. So Rowdy is saying, well, why is it not, what's going on? There we go. Rowdy is saying, Mike, you are talking at 1.5 speed today. Must be feeling good. Hopefully you can still understand what I'm saying, because, yeah, I don't want to be that guy that speaks too fast and you can't understand me. Hey, good morning to you, Mr. Kenny Elwood. How you doing? Oh, man, look at that. That doesn't surprise me that is your profile picture. I'd be willing to guess that is a steak from Elwood Ranch. That, just a guess, Kenny, just a guess. Looks good. Looks good. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to learning more about what it is you're doing with Elwood Ranch. I was talking to my wife a little bit more about it. And it was very interesting about some of your visions. And actually, it was neat talking with your wife, by the way, last week, going to her goat farm or goat ranch and learning about goat meat and how healthy it is. It's a lean meat and just good for you. A lot of protein in it, too. So that was interesting. So look for that this Thursday in your Ag Report, which is, of course, sponsored by our buddy Kenny Elwood over at Lassen County Nursery. And, of course, as you know, he's got Elwood ranches as well. We've got Chappie this morning. She is saying, I hate fog. Does it have a purpose other than to annoy us? It actually does have a purpose, Chappie, and I'm going to tell you why. Yes, it is annoying. Rain can be annoying, too, but it has a purpose, right? You think about the redwoods, right, along the coast. It's just a good source of constant moisture for it. And, the fog can also be a good source of moisture for other things as well. So there you go. So, yes, it does serve a purpose. I guess you could say everything serves a purpose, right? I've learned that through Turtle Bay with Sharon Clay. She says, every animal, every insect serves a purpose. And she's right. They're all part of the ecosystem. Pretty cool stuff. I forgot to check the photos again this morning. I got a buddy of mine who sent a picture. Oh, all right, Mike Graff, if you're watching, I see it. That's funny. All right, good stuff. It's a little personal joke that we have here. Hey, let me see if anybody sent any pictures. I'm going to do it up on this computer here because if there are any, then I can show them to you if there's anything good. I'm sure there is, if anybody sent anything. I've got to log into my account. Hold on one second. Here we go. Can you see what I'm typing? No. Can you type? You can hear it typing. You go, oh, I know what its password is. Let's see here. There we go. We're going to go into the content. There it is. Gallery. There we go. All right. So if there's any images here. Oh, wait. Some of these don't look. Oh, okay, here's some new ones. So this was sent on the 14th, so 3 days ago. Let me show you here. And before we do that, I'm going to get the info, but I don't want to share there. It is Kelly Smith, Shingletown Post Office. That was 9:20 in the morning on the 14th. Let's take a look at that. It's kind of fun. How would you like to be? I mean, hey, you have proper equipment to be delivering the mail in that area, right? Makes frequent stops. It looks like a kind of a wet snow that you saw out there. All right, let's see what else we got out there. We were that one. This one was also in Kim. This was in Big Bend at 3 a.m. also on the 14th. The 14th was Saturday. Okay, just making sure. And here it is. This is coming in from Kim Martin. We'll get that going here. And this is Big Bend area. Looks like some wet snow up there as well. So definitely kind of a fun day there. If you like the snow, that is. And of course, look like they have the proper equipment. And oh, this one, we've met this dog before. This is this is in Bernie at 3,200 feet, 7 inches of snow, also on Saturday. I was mentioning that we would probably see some snow in Bernie, and there you go. There's kind of some validation for that. Let's get that going. So this is Bob the dog. Let's take a look at it. I love this one, and he sent this picture of Bob the dog before. He doesn't ever look happy about the snow, does he? But I mean, look at that. He kind of looks happier this time around. Although I see some gray around his beard there. So I'm guessing he's a kind of a senior dog. What a great looking dog though. Love that. I love Bob. You're awesome. What an awesome dog. But yeah, Bob doesn't look terribly happy about the snow. But yeah, that was Saturday. 7 inches of snow. All right. That's pretty impressive. I'm surprised I didn't look to find these photos earlier. I'm so disappointed in myself, not you. You all delivered. Let's go back over here. There we go. Let's see what else we got here. We have got Delinda. This is, she doesn't say where this is. Getting a little snow this Monday morning. This is out on her deck. It looks like her patio. So there you go. Not exactly sure where that is. Delinda, if you're watching, do me a favor and tell me where that is. So if you do send a picture, by the way, it's important that you put the information as far as where it is. And what really helps too, especially if we're dealing with snow, is elevation. Because what that tells me, that gives me an idea what the elevation is in that area. Elevation is a tricky thing around here. We've got Leah Groves. This is in Coffee Creek. Snow overload on the 16th. That was yesterday. She sent it yesterday. But this is out in Coffee Creek. Let's take a look at that. Oops, wrong one. There it is, loading up. And looks like we got a doggy enjoying the snow too. Look at that. That's Coffee Creek in Trinity County. Beautiful. Absolutely love it. Look at the mountains off in the distance. What a beautiful area you live in. Hold on. Excuse me. Oh, phew. You know, sometimes you hear people say, do you ever sneeze while you do the weather? Well, there you go. There's your answer. I probably should have turned off the mic. Sorry about that. But there you can see, yes, in Coffee Creek. Thank you for sharing that photo. By the way, and I'm going to see if I can get this loaded up. I'm going to get that loaded up here. Get that out here. And I'm going to show you that you can share your photos and how easy it is. Here you go. Here's what you do. Very simple. You can share your photos with the free Weather NorCal app. If you don't have the NorCal app, my question to you is, why don't you? Number one. But you can very easily, from the app, share your photos. And that's exactly what I did. All those photos that you just saw were from the app. And so I just log into my weather computer and I can very easily show you those pictures. And of course, I can get them into the weather computer system as well. All right, my buddy Mike Graff again is harassing me this morning. Thanks for covering El Nino and La Nina today. I did that, yeah, this morning. So I think he was appreciative of that, covering that and talking about it. Because yeah, it certainly is part of our weather here. Well, tell you what, folks, I think that's going to do it for us this morning. What do you say we call it a morning? Let me just check in with some of you here before we wrap up here. Curtis Brown is saying certain plants and trees benefit from fog. There you go. That's what I was talking about. Yeah, kind of like, along the coast. So there you go. Thanks for chiming in, Curtis. Very good answer to that question. Okay, good to know. It helps in some way. Yes, it does. It makes you feel better, doesn't it? Doesn't it nice to know that some of the things that do annoy us do serve a good purpose? And then, of course, we got Debbie Bishop saying good morning as well. So good morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. And we are going to leave you with, let me get this loaded up. You can do it. You can do it. We can find it. There it is. We're going to leave you with some images of some of the cameras. Oh, check this out. I got to do it right now before the camera moves. Look at that. Fog has rolled on in. Look at those low clouds, just all kind of inundated right there. This is out at Lake Oroville, looking down. Look at the beautiful sunrise coming up there as well. So again, thank you all so much for watching this morning. We'll see you tomorrow morning on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. Have a great morning and have a great day.
Thank you.